Hello and welcome to the Kenny T One-on-One podcast. Guess what? I've got some great news today because we have a sponsor on the show. Yatu Tea. It's getting cold, so if you're thinking of drinking some tea, don't drink any other tea. You need to drink Yatu. Remember, Yatu is available in all leading groceries and supermarkets across the country. My guest today is Chef 187. Chef Yurishan.
Big laga.
Finally.
Serious. This one we got finally.
I think we've been trying to have you on the show for a while, and it hasn't been your problem. But ours. No. But thanks for making time, man.
Yeah, cheers. Otherwise, we're not sharing time and space. I've been looking up.
Chipondo chisa. You're not water machine. The ones arrange that government. No, I'm glad to have you on the show, Shefi.
Thank you so much.
First things first.
Actually, I football footballer for a very long time. But football is one thing I love doing, and whenever I can. These days, not so much. Manage life under my control. But yeah, whenever I can, don't
social football, yote?
Yeah, social football. Quite a bit team at Z celebrities, musicians and other notable people. My manager's team, which is Ubuntu.
Yeah.
Ubuntu na feature hati yako. So social football.
Social football. You told me, I think, nanka 5 months naka kwana.
Yeah.
Shishi,
I think so. Because last time I played, I played very well. Quite connect my clips for social media. So that from that time, so shit.
What did you
but I provided an assist.
Oh.
Exactly.
Chef, let's talk about your early life. What were you born? Where did you grow up?
I was born in Luansha, Copper Belt, Luansha. Then moved to Ndola, then moved to Lusaka. Then we had to go back to Chingola. So I did my first grade in Luansha at Buteko Primary School, then moved to Ndola at Kansenshi Primary School, moved to Lusaka, did Tunduya Primary School.
What do you mean? Tunduya Niguisa? I remember the name.
Tunduya is right behind Munali High School.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Munali Secondary, yeah. From there, I went to Woodlands B in Woodlands Extension. Kurumafea Woodlands Stadium.
Yeah.
I
don't know why I thought. Sorry, I don't lose your thought. But I don't know why I thought you'd work in Ndola. Like maybe you were born in Ndola or something.
I wasn't born in Ndola, but I've spent a lot of years in Ndola. Like from Luansha, we moved to Ndola, and so from Ndola we moved to Lusaka, where I attended Tunduya and Woodlands B. From there. We went back to Chingola. We went to Chingola, where I did my primary at Nchanga Primary School. Then finally, I went to Kabundi Secondary School, where I did my high school.
Okay. So when you're explaining, I think you're going towards Iliashiria Evelyn Horn College. I think I cut you for a bit. I didn't want you to lose that. Okay. Can we talk about that as well?
Okay. So do we get into Evelyn Horn?
Yeah. So after Tunduya, you went to...
After Tunduya, I went to Woodlands B Primary School. After Woodlands B, I went to Nchanga Primary School. After Nchanga Primary School, I went to Kabundi Secondary School, which is where I finished my high school education. So during that gap year, I had the chance to work for the mines.
What got a mine number?
Exactly.
What is Shmaini?
Exactly. Not really Shmaini, but quite a contractors. So I'm a contractor.
Oh, I'm a contractor. Yeah. It's very common on Copper Belt.
Kuwaya. I think pariba pobare that Kuwaya or Pamulolela Chipuba.
Pamulolela Chipuba.
Yeah, all you needed to have was your NRC.
Yeah.
So randomly, one day, a guy would just come up and say, Iwe da Iwe. 10. And that's it. You would be employed by a contractor in the mines like that. So I was fortunate enough to have had that particular job. So I worked for the mines for like a year before I went to college, which is the Evelyn Horn story now.
Okay, so I noticed that walienda sana. Why
Exactly.
those movements?
Exactly. Our father was an accountant.
Okay.
Our father was a banker. So I remember when we were in Luansha, he was working for this particular company. Then he moved to Ndola to work for Meridian Bank. So Meridian Bank, if you remember very well, it got closed down.
Yeah.
So after Meridian Bank closed down, he moved to Lusaka because he now started working for Indo-Zambia Bank. So he worked for Indo-Zambia Bank until up until his death. And that's when we had to now go to Chingola.
Go back to Chingola. So uko mine where you were working, was it in Chingola, Kitwe or Luansha?
That was Chingola.
Chingola.
Yeah.
So for 1 year?
Yeah, I worked for 1 year, but when you work for the mine, I was working as a general worker.
Okay.
So what that meant was I could show up for work not knowing exactly what I would be doing for the day. Yeah, like you would show up for work this day, you're working at the open pit. This day you're underground. This day you're cobalt concentrator. This day you're cobalt secondary.
So no issue. Just depending on what the supervisor has planned for you. But what was
depending on where there's like a shortage of manpower, that's where they would normally send us. So you would find that I only worked there for like 8 months, but that 8 months was like 15 years because I knew a lot about the mine itself.
Yeah.
The mine plant itself.
So you even used to go underground, Dimo?
Yeah, sometimes.
So pamugodi pa bashani para mwana mushitenshinga mwengera pamoja.
Kwale fe kama kubomba fe general work stuff. Nothing specific because you're not a professional.
Yeah.
So kwale fe tupampisha fe munika safety talk. Every morning you had to kuna sauti the reg number. Because every morning you had to stand somewhere and shout out your NRC number. 28, 20, sha. Then they let you in. Then you do your safety talk, depending on where you're going to be working. Ganiku lime plant, for example. Lime kwaba so. So safety talk, yes, we are there on so, and then you go for work.
Okay, so what was your best moment, Ukubomba pa mine? And also, what was your worst moment? Or if you only have one of these, feel free to.
I think it's my best moment because I always share this story. There was this friend of ours, a colleague of ours, who was like younger than us.
Yeah.
So at the pama wedza ishire ntachinga saranda pati. Ineteti nsangwe na imwe. Kupose nshitafing shitwingalandapo. So I started wondering to say, but him guys, was it paraoka job imoine? He's actually younger than me. So initially, what does it mean when he says teta sangwe na ine? Then it turned out this guy was a married guy with kids. Although he never for guy, I never for your body.
Yeah.
So when we get paid, he had a family to look after.
Yeah.
And he had to split that little money.
Yeah.
Between himself and his family.
Yeah.
So inengana fola mfashina mushitira ko fenono cooking shashara ningubo fe banje. Shara ingia umli swag.
Yeah.
So I later understood what he meant when he said teta sangwe na ifwe. Because like our problems are my problems just na upsana. So yeah, I really took a lot from that, and I believe my experience in the mines gave me a level of maturity that I took college. So when I went to college, when people were excited to be in Lusaka, being in a big city, me, I wasn't really fazed or excited about anything because it's like I had seen life down in Chingola in the mines. So it gave me a whole different perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also, the nabantu amsho wale sangwana bena. Sometimes when you're hanging out with people abakutekwa mano, it also shapes you. It helps you be, you know.
Exactly. I think it put I think I matured at an early age because of that experience.
Yeah.
And also, most of my colleagues were big people.
Yeah.
So quite a lot, you learn a lot from just being in their company and listening to the stories they are sharing.
So at that point, when you are mine, taushona life yako ile ya shani, did you think of music? Were you already doing rap fekumba dife ile hapa no, or what was going on there?
Yeah, I was already doing music, but not on a serious level.
Yeah.
I remember again one thing I took away from that experience. I remember our foreman where it sonted. Don't think this is the be all end all. There's more to life than if tapano. So not to there's more to life.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself to say, there must be more to life than what we're doing here, because
because kwa wambia kota na ingira vile inaleta afya ma contractor na for there could even be some people who are still doing what you're doing with them that time.
Exactly.
It happens.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think I really took those words seriously. The fact that there was this elderly person telling us to say, hey, there's more to life than what we're doing, because sometimes you may get comfortable within that space, because quite a lot of times you feel like so when I get paid, when you get paid, you're like, hey, salary first, I think next month. And I remember my mother, not my biological mother, but one of the women that have raised us, telling me to stop, to say, you are because she was talking to me and I was dozing at 17 hours, so she couldn't understand. She was like,
because those jobs, 04
yeah, you wake up at 04 by 6 hours you're supposed to be in your locker.
Yeah.
By 07 hours now for overall helmet, respirator, be with a tool or something. Gloves. Going for the same safety talk.
Yeah.
And you only get to rest like maybe at 12. At 12 hours is when you have your lunch. Then you knock off at somewhere like 16. And then Badelanda, Padi Temo Badelanda, contractor Tavana Mulopa. Meaning contractor Tanaka. Contractor Tavana Mulopa, meaning contractor Tanaka. So Ngawakusanga Wikala. It's an issue. You always have to be upstanding, doing some work.
But it
was very hard labor. Sometimes quite about now booking an excavator for like 1 hour. And within that 1 hour, you have to complete a task. So now booking another PMP. So if that task isn't complete, they would have to book it again.
Oh, I see.
So now you have to complete whatever task you've been given within the stipulated period of time. If not, you're going to have issues with your boss. So your supervisors, your foreman will be on your case.
Yeah.
So it was hard labor.
It was. Okay, so let's speak about Evelyn Horn College for a little bit. So I went to Evelyn Horn College as well.
Serious?
I did my journalism there. Then at some point na decided kala boarding school pale. Kuma nani kana kuma kariba kodia.
Kariba kuma Zimbabwe, Ghana.
Then tulikuwa tena ma guys wale to shoota. Kuzifufa wale journalism kwa wale wati. Guy uchitefia kosa bene wanda bachitefia kosa ngako lwasa journalism twala myuma mwe chitefia na kaini owesha baba ponta bali
so
I went there, I had a very good experience. Yeah. How was your experience like at Evelyn Horn?
It was a great experience. I think when I got there, I was pushing to start living there, to find accommodation within school, but I couldn't get the accommodation. So I had to go to my aunt's place in Kabwata.
Okay.
So that's how come I know Kabwata, like I've lived there, because I used to live there during my school days. Yeah, so Evelyn Horn is is a very important chapter in my life because I got to experience a side of Lusaka that I never experienced previously. Remember, I lived in Lusaka before with our parents. I met musicians there. I met B-Flow for the first time at Evelyn Horn as a fan.
Oh, so you're a fan of B-Flow as a
I was a fan of B-Flow. Oh, I am a fan of B-Flow. So I remember after him performing, I think he was coming from one of the hostels, and I said hi. Nishikari watu bata ma celebrity mama chiki no wananda hi bakukololesha. So I said hi and I said hi and he responded. So it's
mushari mini na mwashimikako
ata mini but I repita. Then I also met Roberto for the first time. I think he was a DJ by then.
Yeah. He was on QFM.
Yeah, so artists could come and I could see them perform. So not knowing in a few years later, I'll be one of them. Evelyn Horn was an awesome experience. I was there for 2.5 years. I did business admin. I always wanted to do accounts because of our dad, yes. But I thought of doing something more general and broad than doing something very specific like accounts. So it was a nice experience.
But so when you're at Evelyn Horn College, walera pako mushawa firia ngole samba shani.
At that particular time I was already an artist. I already had music, but no one would pay attention to the music because I was very unknown. I think at Evelyn Horn is when I started to call myself Chef 187 because I had other stage names previously. So at Evelyn Horn is where I coined that Chef 187 mantra.
Okay, so where did it come from? Also, there's numero uno.
Yeah.
Nuevo uno, nuevo Chef 187.
So numero uno is just an AKA that I throw in there because it is not all the time when I like to be called Chef 187. There's a time when Chef 187 sounds like it's a very formal name to call me. So in a more informal setup, I prefer uno or just numero uno or lyrical sensei.
Okay, so number Chef 187. How did you put it together? What does it mean? What does it signify to you? We need to understand this.
So 187 simply means to murder, to kill it.
Okay.
To kill it or to outdo yourself. So if music is food to the soul, then I'm the chef cooking it.
Right. I never knew.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So they say music is food to the soul. So I'm the chef cooking it. And numero uno is just me affirming to say I'm number one. I'll always be number one at whatever.
The lyrical sensei. So now, you said when you went to Evelyn Horn, you had already recorded a few songs. Let's speak about your recording experience, your studio experience. Was Makitu's studio up and running at the time?
Yes. When the time I was at Evelyn Horn, Alpha Entertainment was already up and about. He was working with a couple of artists. I could watch them from TV like any other person.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, wow, so when I go back home, Alpha Entertainment is there to welcome me, so I won't have it hard. But previously, before Mark even went to Alpha Entertainment, there was Danger Zone.
I remember Danger Zone.
So Danger Zone, I was at Danger Zone for years and years, but I never did a lot of music. I was just there like a fly on the wall, just observing. When Danger Zone first signed Dandy Crazy, I was there to witness it, and I witnessed him becoming what he was from just someone that no one hardly knew. So I was there again when they signed Baska. I was there when they signed Afonika. So I was just there like just observing. And
for more opportunities.
Exactly.
But did you think yours was coming? Or you thought it was too far-fetched?
Yes and no. There were times when I felt like my time was gonna come. There was a time when I felt like, wow, is my time really gonna
Really going to
come?
come.
Or
Yeah.
I'm just wasting my time here. I remember Wayoka. Shout out to Wayoka. Wayoka, there was one time he said, who's the owner of Danger Zone?
Mhm.
There was one time he was like, Danger Zone A ninj tuma kushani, then Danger Zone B ninj tuma kushani. As in, he was mentioning two different shows or events that they had.
Uh-huh.
So he said Danger Zone A is at this
But then
particular point,
uh-huh.
B is at this particular point.
Yeah.
And I was there in the studio. And I was thinking, nishifutwa mushani.
Because mweta ulimo.
Yeah, but I really learned a lot from just being a chola boy and being someone that they would send, oh, iwe shitako sona, oh, iwe sarakwe chibi, oh, iwe chita sona, so. Because I could learn a lot from different artists that came through. It was Mampi, Dali, so Peterson. First time I saw Peterson was at Danger Zone Studio. Baska, Fonika, I really learned a lot from those guys, such that when it was time for me to become an artist, it was like I already had experience, even though I had zero experience, because I spent years just being a chola boy.
So, but tell me, your brother's influence, it didn't tole mushupa ko alo, mak, mbika ko mulaini. Ni ale asuka shani.
Oh yeah, so I think Makitu has got zero nepotism in him.
Takufia chibululu ono mwacha wandu shani.
Takawati uli mwacha wake uli shani takwa befi. So I think he was waiting for the right time. So in my early years, actually, I worked more with Baska than I did with Makitu. Because Baska had a space where I felt like, before Baska moved to Danger Zone, he had a space where I felt like I could go to and I could freely record without any, without, hey, you, no one, hey, Shan.
Yeah.
Whereas at Danger Zone, there was a lot of big names. So it was difficult to be given a recording chance when there's these big names working on their music. So yeah, the first time I worked with Makitu was in 2010. 2011 actually, when I came back from college. The first time I recorded a song was in 2005. So it's like 6 years of not working with Buga. He was just looking at me from afar.
But the wale msunga ko?
Yeah, so
take your fist.
Yeah, there were times when he could say, oh, okay, twala bomba, then fapira pen. And you could see him working with other people and making big songs with other people. Yeah. So with Mark, I knew to say, eventually, this is my guy. Eventually,
it will happen.
It will happen. Our time will come when we work on music. And when I came back from college, he put me on 3 songs. And those three songs are what made my name a household name.
Wow. Which songs are these?
Firstly, there was an All-Star remix, Ndimu Pondo All-Stars. So I jumped on there. There was another song called Seko Ponoke. I jumped on that song. It eventually became a big song as well. The third song I got on was the famous I Am Zambian Hip Hop, which was an XYZ diss. Exactly. So all those songs were done in a space of like 3 months. Yeah. So after those songs, whatever I put out stuck. Whatever I put out began to like gain traction.
So, but before those songs, those other recordings you're doing, were you finding time to go to like radio stations? How were people reacting to that? Even some artists that you wanted to feature?
So personally, I never approached any radio station because I always felt it was far-fetched.
Is it?
Yeah, because no one knows you, and you would hear these stories about big artists being turned away from radio stations. So I never even dared to take my music to radio.
Yeah.
But we could it was that era where you could burn CDs and distribute them
Or
by
distribute
yourself.
them. Yeah.
Mhm. So we did that. We could go to a different town, burn CDs and just hand out CDs to people physically. I think that's what we did for the most part. And I remember also going to clubs and performing, asking for a chance to perform. And that's it. I never really asked for big features. The only person I asked for a feature was Peterson before I became a big name.
I shouldn't understand.
Without even hesitating, Bakamba, I need you on this song. He started to sing the chorus.
Oh, he did.
It's like Adi Umfama verses. So Bakamba, I need you on this song. Then in seconds he was like, hey, lelo, now I'm a punch in there. I'm going chorus. Hey, kaya gane 5. Yeah, so I'm not sure if he remembers because that song never went anywhere. And we never officially put it out because nishna wafe muri idai na akawati wana wafe pa danger zone to power punch.
Yeah. But when you're starting your music, who was your biggest influence? Like, did you have a role model from a music standpoint that you would look up to? You know, even your style is really really different.
Okay, yeah. So my biggest influence musically, I would say, has always been Tupac.
Oh, right.
Tupac Shakur, internationally, but locally, the first time I heard anything that was relatively close to rap music was from Jochi Wangu. Jochi Wangu was in a group that was called the Rap Prophets on the Copper Belt.
Yeah.
So from there, I heard Salaula by Daddy Zimas. It wasn't like rap, but it was something close to rap.
Yeah.
So that was my like early inspiration. From there, artists like Tommy D, artists like Crisis came on the scene. So now I was like, okay, now we are getting somewhere. So I think I would like to do that at one point. Then Mark also started to do music, and yeah, Mark really opened my mind up to being in music.
So
eventually,
when Mark started, did you think he was going to go somewhere? Honestly speaking.
So the honest answer would be no, because Mark wasn't the first person I saw do music in the family. The first person I saw do music in the family was my eldest brother, was our eldest brother. So he was doing it for fun. He wasn't really looking like it's something that he would take professionally as a career. So yeah, when Mark picked it up, he took it to a whole new level. And within the family, there's people that are good at just singing or playing guitar. I've got cousins that do brilliant songs, but never think much of it. They never tavaiposa kwa mwana kwalimbinili yake, but it's something that they would make a business out of. So even when Mark started Narema Academy, it was just one of those. But he took it to a whole different level, such that when it was time for me to now make a decision of getting in music, I already had an example.
And he showed you the way.
Yeah, I already had an example, so it wasn't. It's like he had fought all the battles on my behalf. Because I remember a time when he had to be a rebel just so he could pursue his dreams.
What do you mean he had to be a rebel?
Yeah, within the household, because our parents and guardians at the time had a plan to say, okay, when he's done with school, he's going to go here, he's going to start working for this particular entity. But he saw it differently, and he decided to pursue his music. So it's like our parents didn't really understand. They could say, why is your brother...
They were thinking he's just wasting his time.
But why is your brother going in this direction? Not knowing I equally would love to go in the same direction. And so it's like he caught a lot of I don't know what to say. He got a lot of stick for just him pursuing the dream. But when he became successful,
The story changed.
it was like like I said, like he had already fought our battles. So when I said, "Oh, I also want to pursue this," I think our parents were more lenient towards me than they were initially with him.
Yeah. He showed you the way. So since we're talking about family, what kind of a family did you have? I know Hatoela, she told her story, but there are others that probably didn't watch that interview, and
Oh, yes.
I'd like to hear some things from you as well. Yeah, what kind of a family setup did you have?
So like I mentioned in the beginning, our father was always moving from town to town. So there were instances where you don't all live together as a family.
How many were you?
So we are 6 in the family. I am the 4th born. The first born is a woman, is a lady.
Okay.
The second born is a guy.
Is he the one who tried out music for fun?
Yes.
What is he doing now?
He's into marketing now.
Okay, great.
The third born is Makitu. The 4th born is myself. Then I had an immediate younger sister. Then Toela is the last born.
Okay.
Yeah, so there were instances where you don't live with all your siblings.
Yeah.
Maybe you would find that Toela lives with mom. Your dad moves to a different town. So now you're now living with your dad. And the other siblings are elsewhere. And when they eventually passed on, when our parents eventually passed on, kwade baile yake bati uyako kuri ba auntie, uyako kuri ba shani, uyako kuri ba shani. But when I remember setup yako what once opportunity, I think the music talent comes from our dad's side, because our dad was a collector of music.
Oh, he loved music a lot.
Our dad loved music a lot. A lot of artists that I know today, I heard them for the first time from him. I know Shabba Ranks because of my
Your dad used to listen to Shabba Ranks?
Tingaling, Tingaling, which is one of my favorite songs up to this day. I heard it first from him. Trailer Lord the Girl.
Yeah.
I heard it first from him. Michael Jackson, Babyface, Boys to Men. Rumba.
So when he's listening,
so little did we know that it was like conditioning us to become musicians eventually. So we grew up in a very musical household, and also my uncles were the ones that put me on to Tupac, B.I.G. and rap music.
Yeah. But did you, as a family, did you have did any one of you ever sing like in church? But again, for you, I'm thinking, na don't for rap mu church.
Mark Buga used to sing for whatever we thought about Paradise Choir Chingola. If I used to say Buga imba mkwaya.
Ale imba mkwaya. No bale chaira ine style mkwaya.
Ine style. No kushala ifra video kan mkwaya. Tuane seka. So by that time, I think I was just a lover of music.
Yeah.
So I think at that point, not even him thought he would be a rapper eventually. But yeah, that's how we started out. My love for music starts from as early as like 3rd or 4th grade. Yeah, people used to bring me songs to write lyrics for them. They were like, "Oh, I love this song, but I don't know the lyrics. Can you write the lyrics for me?"
So I used to do that a lot.
Not all the lyrics were accurate, but at least it worked.
But also because of your musical thing, you probably had a better ear, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So I have this inclination towards music and lyrics. I think when it was time for me to eventually start doing music, it was easy for me because I had been working with lyrics for almost all my life.
Yeah, but let's talk about your college education for a little bit. After Opisha Evelyn Home College, you never sat in an office.
No, I didn't. So there's part of a subject at financial management in business admin.
Yeah.
So part of our lecture, our financial management, I on the Pama with Zion hunt even up to today. I on the party. If the knowledge I'm giving you today, after this knowledge I have given you guys up until this point, if after 2 years I find you in the streets hunting for a job, means you are brain dead. Means you are brain dead. Means you are deformed. So yaena mawedza samba kokunchita wanted. So nishi after a considerable amount of time the party filled sticker. I should find something because I have the knowledge
Yeah.
and know-how of how to go about a lot of businesses out there. So I arranged a hunt, and then it was also due to the fact that because I wanted to pursue a degree afterwards. So it was also due to the fact that after Napusha College, I could feel the sigh of relief from my parents. They got, okay, I push you.
Yeah.
So
because it's expensive. You're not
so,
only worker. Yeah.
So I push you. I didn't want a situation where I become a burden just for them to take me to school. So I decided to okay, let me try out this music thing for a couple of years. I knew to say it wasn't going to work within 1 year. So let me try out this music thing. If it doesn't work, then I'll go back to school. I'll take myself to school. I'll find a way of taking myself back to school. So I music to sort that I felt like I had to be here for the longest.
Great. You're watching the Kenny T One-on-One podcast. My guest today is Chef 187. Remember, this show is sponsored by Yatu Tea. So if you're thinking of warming yourself up with some great tea, Yatu should be your number one choice. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Kenny T One-on-One channel on YouTube, right? Great content on this platform. And this is a podcast that has been nominated for the best podcast of the year. So also don't forget to vote for us for those Zamto Awards. Yeah, absolutely. So we hope we bag that one. Now, Shefi, the first interview, big interview you did, my research tells me, my research team tells me it was with Mutale Mwanza. Because I know you still have a strong friendship up to now.
Oh yes. So twale watambira pa TV no kubomfira be radio fe. She used to go by the name DJ TT, I think.
Yes.
So I just got this phone call to say by then I dropped a song called Tutu. By song at Phiri. I think it was my first biggest single as a solo artist. I didn't have any collaborations on it.
Yeah.
And so I just got a call to say, oh, is this Chef 187? We want to have you for an interview at Flavor FM. And remember I said I never used to go to radio stations because we always felt like they were turning away artists. So I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
So I decided I got a moment. Like, seriously? Chef 187 or Mark 2. Now you're talking to Chef 187. We know we are talking to Chef 187. We want you for this interview. So it was Mutale Mwanza and Sosig. And I went there. I had my first ever radio interview. And it's a big thing because that's when it clicked to say, oh, okay, I must be doing something amazing. I think Fiambok Chitikapa.
And it started from there.
It started from there. I think that's when the realization that, okay, I've arrived. That's when it hit me because previously I never took myself seriously as an artist.
So we spoke about those 3 songs that you did. Now, which one do you think, as an artist, as a solo artist, was the biggest breakthrough song for you? Where undoubtedly, uyu numero uno.
I would have to go back to a song called "Foolish Me." I think "Foolish Me" was the song that introduced me to all audiences. It was a song that kids would listen to, that the elderly people would listen to. people I never thought would vibe to my music. They were listening to, like you didn't have to be a Chef 187 fan to know about that particular song. So I think that's my biggest song.
What was your inspiration behind that song? Who wrote the song?
So initially, I think I've spoken about this before. Initially, the song was meant for Tommy D. The song was produced by Cream Dollar, and it had more money on the chorus. So by the time I got to the studio, it was just this song with an artist on it, and they told me, "Oh, this song was initially meant for Tommy D, but I think you're free to use it. I think he won't be using it." So I took advantage, and it became one of my biggest songs, if not my biggest song ever.
Great. So you've got 5 albums to date.
5 albums to my name.
Which one is your personal favorite album?
Right
And
now,
why?
now, my personal favorite song is my personal favorite album is Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit.
If you ask my fans, they will tell you Amnesia. But I think I love Bon Appetit better. So it has a lot to do with how the album itself came about, and the success the album had. I think I like music that I enjoy creating. There's music that you don't really get to have fun when making. So I think Bon Appetit was the easiest of albums to record. I recorded it in my own space.
Yeah.
And I had fun doing it, and it became a success. And it was the first time I was making a considerable amount of money on my own as an independent artist.
Yeah. So after you explained how you came up with the name Chef 187, Bon Appetit makes sense.
Exactly.
Because before I was like, okay, why name the album this? So it explains, and it makes a lot of sense, and it makes sense to me and those that are watching the show right now.
Yes, and previously I had albums like Heart of Amen Sopamo, which is the first album, Heart of a Lion, the second album, Amnesia. So all these albums were my second and third albums were like conceptual albums, like an album that is centered around a particular concept. So with Bon Appetit, I was trying to say this album is not centered around any one topic. So Bon Appetit, just enjoy the music for what it is.
Great. So you're now running on your own. You're one of the big artists this country has right now. What kind of a management system do you have that makes you tick?
My management system is one that is, how can I describe it? I don't know, I forgot, almost like any other management team. There's a corporate manager, there's an overall manager, there's a road manager, there's booking agents on the team. There's lawyers that we have on retainer.
Oh, really?
Yes, of course.
That's nice. That's impressive. I didn't know.
Whenever we get into legal trouble, there's people that we can call for help. There's guys that also help in financial management. But like any other team, we also have our flaws.
It cannot be perfect.
Yeah, we plan to expand the team and include a couple of other people.
Okay, so in terms of from a management standpoint, do you find yourself using some of the skill you got from school to actually, sort of like manage the Chef 187 brand?
Yeah, the whole time, because you have to look at music as a business. I think that's the only way your longevity will be guaranteed, if you look at music as a business. And when you're looking at music as a business, you have to make long-term and short-term decisions. So obviously, for you to be able to make sound short and long-term decisions, you have to apply that knowledge from business admin. So yeah, it sort of helps. If it wasn't for that, I think Nganadibasa are impulsive.
Yeah. So Chef, let's speak about someone that worked on your management team. A young man called Cash who passed away.
Oh yes.
Can we speak about what role was he playing, and how did his death affect you, as an artist and as a brother and as a friend that worked with him?
Yeah, so Kashingwa Kaoma, God rest his soul, was our corporate manager. Was more like our corporate manager. When it was time to speak to these corporate entities, he would be the guy leading the conversation and the guy bringing in business from that space. Apart from that, he could also play as our road manager.
Okay.
When we have shows outside town, could be there running around with Gaston and other people on the team. His death really affected us deeply, because the day he passed, we had an event at the music club. So yeah, I remember my last memories of him. He was just in a happy mood. He was just happy, and our team is very strict. We don't really bring in people from outside when we have an event. But on that particular day, he came with someone that we don't know. So we were all wondering to say, "Ango you guys."
Bali pama Honda once.
He was a bike lover, so
Yeah.
he came with a bike. So to rest of everyone, "Ango you guys, and why is this guy in such a happy mood?"
Yeah.
During our performance, he was in the audience instead of being backstage, because management is always
He's
backstage.
always backstage, yes.
So he was in the audience, and I remember after the performance, he came to dap me up and say, now Misha, now me, pointing at my other manager, Superman, to say,
Yeah.
so those words were odd to me, because he never uses such words.
Yeah.
Like we never say idashowa chuma. We never have such conversations, because I think we take it for granted that this should be covered today by konsoko tue. So that was his last day, and it all made sense after his death.
Everything.
Say, that was his way of saying bye, you guys.
I saw one of your performances. First of all, rest in peace, Cash. I never got a chance to ride with him, but he rode in my club.
Oh yeah.
So on that day, I know that they were at the Bikers Cafe in the morning.
Exactly.
I drove past, I didn't stop. And then later on in the night, we heard the bad news, but it is what it is. So now, I saw one performance you did where you rocked up. There were bikes on stage, and you were wearing a biker's jacket. That was so cool, man. Exactly. Was it behind it?
Oh yes, most definitely. That was for the Coppola experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea was just to show up with bikes on stage. Initially, I was supposed to get on stage riding a bike, but I've never rode on one before, so I wouldn't want a show of that magnitude.
Yeah, I know. Because what is sanga muband?
I couldn't risk it to have myself coming on stage with a bike I've never rode before at such a big event. So yeah, fortunately enough, people liked it.
I liked it,
and yeah, that was initially meant for the Stanbic Music Festival. So when we were told it's not possible to have it there, we decided to do it at the Coppola experience.
Okay, let's also speak about your relationship with Imoto Caesar.
Oh yeah.
What's the story there?
Imoto Caesar is like my protege. Imoto Caesar is an artist who I see a lot of myself in. There's a lot of artists I see a lot of myself in. There's a lot of artists like that. I could say Imoto Caesar, Omsepela Crown, Slick Boy. I'm sure I'm forgetting another name, but yeah, Imoto Caesar, Omsepela Crown, Slick Boy. Slick Boy, I've never sat down with him, but there's the similarities between us is amazing, because there's things that he talks about in his music, like football, for example, his love for Zambian football. That we share a similar passion with him, but we've never actually sat down like for longer periods of time, and people say, "Oh, he sounds like you." So I think a lot of it is ni coincidence. But when it comes to Imoto Caesar, I have deliberately groomed him for years and years.
I'm told he's featured on all your albums.
Yes, and if I was to put out an album, best believe Imoto Caesar would be there, because I enjoy his craft, I enjoy his creativity. I think Paddy Bakofe, there's something that he does that people don't really pay too much attention to, and it reminds me of my younger self.
On one of your songs you feature, is it Nobody? What's this boy's name? Good vocals.
Blake.
Yeah, Blake. Bushe, just after that song, you've never featured him again. I was thinking maybe you'd sign him up or anything of the sort. Did you make any plans with him, or because it gave him a really good spotlight?
Oh yeah, it was a big platform. I think Nobody. Now that we are in the streaming era, Nobody is my biggest song in terms of numbers, streaming numbers.
Oh, wow.
And so that was a very big platform for Blake, and it's up to him to utilize it. I can't.
You provided the platform. At the end of the day,
I only provided the platform, and I can only support whatever he decides to do. And I try to avoid situations that make it look like I am using an artist. Okay. So since Blake Addy jumping a party song, and let's have a Blake song where I jump on. So I think that is what I've been waiting for, and we've done a couple of songs which are not yet out. So I think he will put them out when he's ready to put them out.
When he's ready. So I hear you're a big Barcelona fan.
Too much.
How have you been performing lately, sir?
As
Barcelona.
We were supposed to win the treble. We were supposed to win the treble, which is 3 trophies, 2 domestic cups, and the Champions League. But Champions League fell through, so we couldn't make that possible. But Barcelona actually from semi-finals, which is something commendable as well. So
Real Madrid wale umfwapa yuturelanda ama supporters.
Tari bachito visizo ni yafuneke. Let's balanda. We are the one that we have their number to like dialing a thing at for. But otherwise, I'm also a local soccer lover. I pay team up since in for watching all that support for Brave Nchanga Rangers.
Na nombo chimungu Nchanga Rangers. You are in Lusaka now, our city of Lusaka nombo.
I actually used to be a big fan of city of Lusaka. Remember when I told you to say we used to live
in Kabwata?
No, before Kabwata, we used to live in Woodlands Extension, which is near
the stadium.
The stadium itself. So I used to go to watch City of Lusaka train. By that time, they used to share the stadium with Zamshu.
Yeah.
So City of Lusaka now Zamshu. City of Lusaka Vaikwete player at Muhammad Siddhat. He was an Indian. He was of Indian descent.
Adi
Mukadi. Last year, he was the team captain. So yeah, I used to support City of Lusaka before I started supporting Nchanga Rangers.
Actually, you know, I was just being silly about Nchanga Rangers because a lot of people like Kabwe. Nobody about Kabwe Warriors. You know what I mean? There's us from Kitwe, Ghana Red Devils or Power Dynamos. You know what I mean? So it's for you,
loyalty. I think Makamaka for capability. I think loyalty is a very big thing. That sense of belonging is a very big thing.
Yeah. So it's like that. But let me draw your attention to something very different. I realized that you featured on CNN, African Voices.
Exactly.
How did that happen?
Again, I'm not sure how that happened. I just got a call from someone, and they were asking me to check my email. Yeah. So when I checked my email, I decided to call my manager at the time, Mash. There's a guy called Mash Dorobuchi who was managing me at the time, and he made it happen. I didn't think much of it until it aired. And I'm okay, nakwisa fya abantu. Twaisa twachafika interview then computer na pen. But when it aired, and when I realized to say I was on the same interview with artists like Calligraph Jones from Kenya, I knew it was a big thing.
Yeah.
And I knew it was putting me in position, putting me in spaces where people have never heard about the Chef 187 brand.
Internationally, I think CNN is a very, very big platform.
It is.
And
It is.
yeah, and you know they don't put people there anyhow.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it was such a big thing.
Great. So let's speak about some of the awards that you've bagged. You want to share some of those? What were the
Hey, I think I've got about awards to about 2021 local awards. I've never had an international award. I think locally I've gotten almost every award there is to get out there. I've been chosen as the best male artist for different awards for like 5 years. Like I think I did 3 years in a row and 2 other different years.
Yeah.
So things like that. I the only award I've never gotten is the Ngoma Awards. I've never had a Ngoma Award for some reason.
Yeah, I'm sure you get one day. But of all these awards,
I've never even been nominated for a Ngoma Award.
It's a nomination. But of all these awards that you've gotten so far, whatever number they are, which particular one has really touched your heart, and why?
I think they are all the same. So I think the biggest award I'll ever get in life is just people, ordinary people appreciating my music. Because up to now, I don't know what happens in the creative process of making a song. You're in a room by yourself, murmuring some words to yourself, and the next day people are singing along to those words. So I think it's magic. It's like you have to be in a space where the universe the universe wants to communicate something through you, and then it does, and then people gravitate towards that same messaging. I think that's what happens. So I think that's the biggest award I can ever I can ever get.
But Shefi, as a rapper, it's very rare that you get a rapper that's got a 360 type of love. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people just love you. You know, you're a calm guy. You know, to be very honest, I'm very surprised that you actually speak and can explain things, because I thought you were a guy that I'm going to ask her. So, Shefi, how did you grow up? You know what I mean? You don't look like a guy that speaks a lot, and people have taken a liking. Because I'm thinking I'm a rapper, aggressive, apatako beef na funny, beef no you, but your brand is very different, it's very clean. How'd you do that?
Yeah, I'm happy you feel that way, because like I don't find it easy expressing myself. I'm an introvert, meaning I would rather write something than say it.
Yeah.
So I'm happy you feel.
No, we're having a great interview, man.
So I think I want to. It's a good and bad thing for people to like just buy into this Chef 187 character.
Yeah.
It's not a character for me. It's who I am.
It's who you are. Yeah.
But I want to some why are you so quiet and reserved?
Yeah.
So it's not a plan or gimmick. It ties into my natural temperament.
Yeah.
So I think I just try my best to be genuine with people, to be myself. There's the easiest thing I can ever do in life is to be myself. And I think people see that and appreciate it. I said it might be a bad thing, because sometimes people like you because you are safe. Oh, since he's not coming for my spot, then we like him.
Oh, I saw what you mean.
But if I was cocky and arrogant, I think a lot of people wouldn't like me. If I told you about who I really am, people would feel offended. It would come off like, okay, nimbade bragging asana. Why is he saying he's this? Yeah, so I would rather say certain things in my music than say them in my actual day-to-day life.
So let's talk about your lyrics and language. I realize that you urapa fe mchibembe.
Exactly.
So nechinyanja taufano kurapa kwatitaweka lamo mlusaka.
No, I used to rap in Nyanja a lot. Actually, most of my early music was done purely in Nyanja. It was only after I met a guy called Ishmael Ian Chikoti and Christo Sean. May he so rest in peace. That I decided to start rapping in Bemba.
So on a serious note, even English you don't.
Yeah, so we used to rap in English and Nyanja. As an up and coming artist, I used to rap in English purely. But do you know the reason why you guys never go anywhere? So I was like, wow, that's a different take. That's a unique way of looking at it. But okay, they can do a shake. Then when I started rapping in Nyanja and a bit of Bemba, it started to gain some traction. So I thought, wow, this actually works. Let's go this same direction. But I think me rapping in Bemba is also me just being myself. I believe the language I can express myself the best in is obviously Bemba. Ifyashara nenshi
Because also why it's important for me to speak about this is because some people actually used to say chef taish wokurapa mchisungu.
Exactly.
It confused me because I'm like, but he can even rap in a language he doesn't even know.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So I think it's not a question of rapping in a particular language. It's what are you saying? Even if I was to rap in English, what am I doing creatively? Is it average English rap? Or my punchlines, or my metaphors, or my double entendres, or my multi-syllable rhymes, So I think for me, it's a question of technique and how you deliver it and how it makes people feel than the language you use. People in Zambia dance to songs that they hardly understand what they mean. Most of these amapiano songs, valatiseka kutseka pama TikTok ati imwe lwachiriro lomuleshara muklabu olo muleshara pa wedding lwachiriro
but
so that is the power of music. I think music from an artist to ipangafe, and then what becomes of the music is dependent on the listener.
So I needed to say the things I said about your rap in vernacular and all of that and ask the questions for the sake of the viewers. But personally, I love the rap Yamchibem. Maybe because I'm Kopala, but I love it. And I think, you found your space in there. Like what you're saying. What I love about my job is it's what I love to do.
Exactly.
And it's the best way I can express myself. The best expression I can ever give out there is to do my job because I love it. And I'm comfortable in it. And I think it's what works for you as well,
That is what works because one of my biggest motivations to wake up and work hard is so at the end of the day I can do the things I love doing.
No, it's true.
Freedom across the board is what I work for. Otherwise, nishinde vombera if I am restricted even in my creativity. So even in my creativity, I want to have creative freedom where if I decide to say this particular album I want to put out, it should be in English purely. Nifofine because I have chosen to do so, not because ndeti nati tafiashtishe then I'll get broke. I'll waste a lot of money doing this. I always want to get to a point where I eventually start doing what I want creatively and just in normal day-to-day life.
Okay, so very recently I think you shared a photograph of your son Is it on social media?
Is it? Narish to
Did
share.
that's what my research team tells me. So
Okay, yeah, it is. Though
Can we-
I'm not the one that shared.
Maybe
it
it's somebody
specifically.
else.
Yeah, I think my wife.
your
shared it.
wife did. How long have you been married for?
I think this year we are celebrating our 5th anniversary,
Okay.
but we've been together. We've been together for close to 10 years.
Mwakumene kuisa kopalalo kuno.
No, we've been together for more than 10 years actually.
Mhm.
We met here in Lusaka.
Here in Lusaka. Okay. So how old is your son?
I don't think I would like
you don't
to.
you don't want you don't want to bring your son to the limelight, right? It's understandable.
He's old enough.
He's
now.
old enough, huh?
Yeah,
Okay. So we'll leave that topic. We'll leave it behind. Speak about your verse on Sampa the Great's song, which
Forget.
went on to How did that happen?
So Sampa the Great was working on an album with Mag 44 at Radio Cafe.
Yeah.
And I think Mag 44 is the one that initially suggested to Sampa that, there's an artist. Oh, no, he didn't introduce us because I had met Sampa earlier.
Earlier on,
I think she had an event in Zambia. And I went there to just support and also, do my performance. So I think Mag 44 suggested that to Sampa that I should get on the Never Forget song because he felt it was right up my alley. He felt like it was in line with the music I was trying to make. So when we eventually did Never Forget, again, I never thought much of the song. I just thought it was a dope song. But what eventually became of that song is what I wasn't ready for. It became one of the biggest songs that year. And I can't really remember if it was the same year when it was adopted to be put in a Marvel movie. I'm not sure if it's the same year or the year after. Yeah, so that song really,
that was huge, man.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge. I am still reaping the benefits.
Serious, eh?
Yeah, even up to now. Sampa's team really has their paperwork done nicely in such a way that whoever collaborates on a song with her gets to benefit financially.
Benefit yashani nimpia.
Financial benefits. But the benefit the power of collaboration. Sampa the Great is a big artist. So it exposed my music to her audience. And also by virtue of me being on that particular song with her, I think it also exposed her to my audience.
To your audience as well.
So it's like the benefit is mutual, but also financially, there's to pay. There's to
Quite about something.
Woofy.
But let's speak about political campaigns. It's a very important question that I usually ask if I have any artist that comes on my show. I've never seen you, or maybe it's just me.
Oh yeah.
Is it is it because of it's a choice you made?
But I have made music before for a particular presidential candidate and a political party.
Okay.
For my own enjoyment. I never even put it out. I just recorded it and it was only for me. So
tabai shona kusha tualibembela olwimbo.
Tabai shiva. But
tubebe apakanshi.
I think that was way back in 2016.
Yeah.
Eventually they approached me to work with them, but I turned it down.
Why?
So I think it's not it's a big deal telling someone who to vote for. Because whoever you vote for, it will affect you in one way or the other. Even people that don't vote, feel about that affect.
Yeah.
So what more nombanga ebo muntu vote for candidate A or candidate B. I think it shouldn't be up to me to tell you who to vote for as an artist, because as a public figure, I think our music cuts across like party lines.
Yeah.
So if everyone is a fan of me, I shouldn't tell this guy to vote for this guy, because my duty should be to just sensitize people and highlight what are the available options. To say, okay, these are the options. You can vote for who you want to vote for. Not go ahead and tell people to say vote for this particular person, because I think to a large extent fari pako subjective, because ama ideologies ama political parties yaripusana. So kutu adawati wetafire kupangira sense but vamifire vapangira sense.
Yeah.
So let me not look down on who you think is the right candidate by saying, oh, I think Uwandini. So it's supposed to be a personal decision. Whoever people vote for is a personal decision. So if it's a personal decision, why am I influencing other people to go in a certain direction?
So I totally understand, and it makes a very good moral point, right? But nomba, uno, nabakuletera kasaka.
Exactly, and we've lost.
Walaka bweshamu.
Yeah, they say not all money is good money, and we've lost a lot of money thinking like that. We've had fights with different people. Sometimes could have had na team limbiaku to say why can't we do this? But eventually, I think people understand to say when I make decisions like that, I think it aligns with
who you are,
with who I am as a person, and it aligns with the brand we've created over the years. So that has been my thinking in the past. Maybe in future it might change, because I am always looking at things from different perspectives, depending on like where I'm at in life and everything. But yeah, when we've turned down such opportunities, I think that was the thinking and reasoning behind it.
No,
we might be wrong, but
no, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially from your perspective and all of that. I mean, you need to do things that you believe in, that are in line with. That's what I believe, you know.
I like to. I don't mind getting backlash. Fidati omuntu aimbali mi political song all of take up on what for 6 months have a blacklist. So I don't mind that. But as long as I don't mind, as long as in my mind I know to say what I did was the right thing. But minding and what I did was the wrong thing, and then I get backlash for it. You know,
No,
then I get to have sleepless nights, because oh, movie you went through with it. So okay, I think
if you're comfortable. Since we're talking politics, your brother Mark is joining the political arena, and I think he's standing much in Goloko.
Yeah, Nchanga constituency.
But one thing we've not seen is you stand up and maybe, you know, endorse him.
Oh yeah.
Or, yeah.
Well, maybe that is not the time for now, but maybe time for that will come later. But if I'm to say anything about that, Nalandati, I think it's been that time for a number of years now. I think it's time young people gets to participate in the running of this country, national affairs. Tware mwana akade tware mwana bakulwa to barabara imina niwa kansela.
Yeah.
So apanomba, I think that what Phiri realize this age group is now at the right stage to take part in the running of national affairs. I think we were motivated by the fact that even the first president that this country has ever had was only 40 when he became president. So that means he was in politics for years and years before that point, and he was in politics at a very young age. So I think it's the young people that eventually gets to turn into leaders that society call, these are our leaders. So I think time now ifikafe. I think it's been long overdue, if you ask me. Yeah. It shouldn't be something that is even special, because everyone at that level should now be looking for ways of participating in the running of this country.
Okay, so I'll push you a little bit, which I rarely do. If Buga today came to you and said, Ningwatarali, Sawimbeko, what would your reaction be? Because he's your brother. I know there's a lot of love that exists between the two of you, and even from the way you're speaking, I can see that. Look, you're not discouraging it. At the same time, you're being realistic with what you're saying, because even the president has been talking about getting the young people and the women involved in politics. So back to the question. Nakwata chiconcept chirali asa kwa bat kuno kunchanga shani uko isawimbeko.
So it depends on what the cause is. Akade, I think I've performed at political rallies before, and I think naivety yasandetere la kopano. So what had happened was I was called to perform at this political rally in a place where I grew up from. Like one of the places I grew up from, Kundola Kulubuto.
Yeah.
So now I've performed in Lubuto for like a lot of times before. And yon sometimes quite a fat ni party fena chidi la fia bantu warekola. So now this particular time I was being called to perform at an event where I think the minister was donating an ambulance, donating wheelchairs to the needy and lots of other food items. So they packaged it like that to say, wempondo, who dienwedia, walimona ma pressure bakwata bad. Nalimona kwadi befia so so nomba, natubafua ila shan clinic, natubafua ila ambulance, natubashitira shan. So they saw it like it was a good thing that I should be part of.
Yeah.
So then I thought to myself to say, every time I go to this place, I am performing at clubs. So let me
do something different.
This now is an opportunity for me to be seen in a different light. So let me go there. So when I went there, I performed for like 15 minutes. I just got there, performed for 15 minutes, then left. But the narrative after that was, so and so welcomes Chef 187 to this Shanshan Yuko party family. Yeah, so from that point, I realized to say, with politicians, you are never safe. They can make you do what they want you to do, even if that wasn't the case initially. So I think with Mark, I think tina mchetegera ni brother wa ndoda. So tina mchetegera to say, okay, so inenga ngana isoko ndefwa tuchitefia so. So it should be something that is of benefit to the people who are if we are doing a rally, okay, fish three still have na abantu.
Yeah.
Okay, three was still go so. But if it's just to sell his candidature, if it clear, it would still be something that I would question.
I hear you.
It's just any other political person approaching our team. Ngafafina natsolanda that ena buga takwata nepotism. So na
I hear you. So one of your guys from a management team, is it Gaston Kopala?
Yeah.
Posted that booking fee ni 120 pin. Can you set the record straight?
I think it was like in a bantay, yeah. I think there's certain things that shouldn't be privy to, that the public shouldn't know. Yeah. I think certain information you leave it to business clients and promoters. So I think whenever you see our red card on social media, I think it shouldn't be light moment. It shouldn't be taken seriously.
So Teyachi in area red card.
I think it was in response to something. I think Gaston was trying to respond to something, or he was trying to make fun of something, and he put that out there.
Did it affect your brand?
No, not in any way, because I think people got it to say, I think Adeseka coffee. But ama numbers have ikire tade pasada. It was okutari.
But so Gaston Maironga avuka asa for posta na fimbi fya palako firafina mkamusuminisha.
Later post. As long as it makes it clear that it's a joke. Otherwise, ngafrafina nachalanda ati. Not everyone has to be privy to certain information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Part of the information if they are private. Not Najima and Jack Nice, but feature charger so.
Yeah.
Wedding a charger so.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what is the general public going to do with that information? Yeah.
But just to be clear and to set the record straight, so your charges usually vary, right? Depending on who you're dealing with, what the event is, and so forth.
Yeah, like any other serious business entity. Obviously, to require 30, this is how much we charge for this. But we've got packages. We've got packages where we say, okay, if you are doing an event of this magnitude, this is how much it would cost you. If you want us to do ABCD, this is how much it would cost you. So, yeah.
Something I've really wanted to ask from you, Shefi, is there's a time that you withdrew from a very big festival. Obviously, no names mentioned.
Oh, serious? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but what prompted that? Can we speak about that for a little bit, just to try and understand where you are coming from with this?
Oh, yeah. So, I think if we're team years, yeah, they quite a high tolerance to tinalanda shadi shobo kumpya wedia la kosa sana taikwata high tolerance ya fintu if shide panga sense. So you would have to do a lot to get us to be offended, to feel offended.
Yeah.
So I think we pride ourselves on having a lot of patience.
Yeah.
So that particular day, quite fair, I think they told us to show up at a particular venue for sound check. We showed up hours before. Then after waiting for hours and hours and hours, we could see artists going to do sound check. We artists cha sound check up, we artists fin. After about 4 artists, I think we were supposed to go on. And they said, no, not Chef 187. Let that other guy. So the other guy went, did his thing, finished. When it was our time, finally, they told us to say, oh, we've run out of time. It's now time for the international act. I was like, oh, but we've been waiting for hours and hours. We've been waiting for like 5 hours now. Oh, sorry, we can't do anything about it. Can you please leave the stage and wait from down there? And then what made the situation worse was that it was a white man, let me not say a white man. It was a non-Zambian communicating to Zambians to say, imwe, teremukeni, tamkwete the program up. So I think my management made efforts to speak to the who they thought was in charge. To no avail. People kept on saying they're coming. In the end, we started to look crazy. So, oh, okay. Since we feel like we are not respected, I think this thing won't go through. We won't go through with the performance, and we felt it was the right decision to just step aside and let them do their thing.
So, but that paid you a down payment, correct?
Yeah, a down payment was made, and we didn't have any problems with paying back whatever payments were made, even though we had already exhausted that amount of money through band practice. People moving
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because what people don't see is when they book you for a big festival, normally you are rehearsing for like a month before the actual event. You are rehearsing for like the whole month.
I see.
So that involves money.
A
band is normally a team of about 7 people. My team is a team of about 8 people. So you're talking of like 16 people moving back and forth every day to practice. And then you get to a situation where you are now not able to go through with the performance. So yeah, it took a lot to make that decision, but in the end it was the right decision, just to make a statement to say we are no we know you're offering us a lot of money, but at the end of the day, respect is better than a lot of money.
lot
So
of money.
let us have our respect.
Do you think the artists they were giving chance to, and not you, were bigger than you or are bigger than you?
No, I've never thought about it in that way.
Uh-huh.
But kaidenga frefina nachalanda pa festat sometimes brand yoben abadi bikasana barabadi babwino. Sometimes people feel they can walk all over you.
Chef ari babwino ta dandaule.
So though this guy will understand, let him come and do his practice tomorrow. Pesa International.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If that's what you thought, then you thought wrong. Like at ngati. If you want to wish if you if you paragraph.
But there were there any apologies from the?
Yeah. I think it's even me speaking about it now is a bit unfair because these are situations that were ironed out days after that. I think what I liked about it was that they respected us enough to call us in for a meeting and
great.
just apologizing formally.
Okay.
Now, though I don't think they never formally put the apology up on social media or publicly. But yeah, we did speak.
And that's the important thing. If they called you again, would you?
Most definitely, because I believe it of my growth, Kaide.
Yeah.
So now,
and in any case, the issues have been ironed out.
Yes. So now they know how to treat us better.
Yeah.
Now they know to say, oh, so we can't have this when these guys come around. So yeah, most definitely, I would obviously take it up.
Jeffrey, let's speak about your entrepreneurial side of things away from the music business. What other business are you doing? I see people, wearing a certain brand. Even in the office.
Oh yeah.
Nari mwana fuala ka jean top na saka rolisha na iwo wakafumishia kuisa.
So normally your question is what are you doing up? How did you phrase the question first? Because normally I take offense.
Oh, you take offense? No. I saw someone wearing, and it's a very, it's a very beautiful brand. I'll tell you, I would wear it. Okay. So now I've been seeing it, but I've also been seeing a chefy on it.
Exactly.
So now I was asking. I said, "Iwe, where did you go?" No. Nimechi, boss.
Yeah. So first of all, I think music itself is a big business for me. Music itself, just the art of creating music is a big business for me. It's opened up a lot of doors for me. It's put us in positions that we only initially dreamed of having. So whatever I do outside music is still an extension of the Chef 187 brand. So like what you are alluding to, the merch. Merch is an extension of the Chef 187 brand. Right now we've got Bear with Chef 187, the Bear with Chef 187 brand. There's a brand I'm calling Top Flow Frequency. Previously I had a brand I was calling Guy Pajob. There was also a clothing brand I was calling In a Relationship Nendalam. So I think I have realized to say I am good at creating quotes or just lines that people might deem quotable lines that people can use in their day-to-day life. So why not monetize that by creating merch out of it? I think that is one way of diversifying my portfolio as an artist, diversifying my streams of revenue, my streams of income. I think merch is one way because if people are fans of Chef 187, they would want to rock a Bear with Chef 187.
So how's that side of business going?
That side of business is going well. Though I must say the response was very overwhelming initially, such that you no longer see the clothing line In a Relationship Nendalama and Guy Pajob now, because the response I got was overwhelming, such that I thought I needed to up the quality and up the standard in general. before I could bring it back on the market again. So yeah, we've been in the process of just finding better ways of production and uh, giving people what a t-shirt I would wear. I wouldn't want to sell you a t-shirt na name we know at
The two it's a
I
problem.
would want to sell you something that even me I am confident in to say, okay, na name we didn't afford it.
So I was just thinking, and in asking about this, it's good you're saying, you're trying to get now the product to even be better, better quality and all of that, because naturally ngira madnishita bachindetera kona inena fuala ko.
Serious.
Ndavo kufuala. So now tupange deal up.
Mm.
When you do what you want to do, when you're ready,
Exactly.
okay? First of all, I don't want to be given for free because then I'm not supporting the business. Okay? I want to buy it, and on one of my episodes on the show, I want to wear it. So nomba mwalapanga plan how it can come and how we can get it going, because look, it's really commendable,
Most definitely. So right now we have there's Bear with Chef 187. Bear with Chef 187, I think the quality what even us, we are proud of that quality.
Yeah.
And so that is what I can share in the immediate.
That would be nice.
And then later on, the quality to the guys, I will definitely
then we'll make a plan. Yeah. Okay, so now I just want to ask. I'm told that there's a reality show. There was an opportunity for you to do a reality show by by a big platform, by a big channel to do, and I'm told you.
Information.
Research na banje bakaitura research for putaturalanda na banje.
Serious.
Ni mwalimu ishiwe mwafumana nkokopa belt, but kwa lovuta mwa
serious.
So now this thing, we're told that you didn't really go with it. I'm trying to understand why.
So with me, I think reality show part of for you meaning of with me. Before time meaning akubantu bambi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this particular instance, I was trying to. They were trying to get me to portray an image that I felt was too much into my personal life and my actual person more than the artist. So I think if there's things that people don't know about me personally, I think it's by design to start with. I designed it that way. Okay. So now when you tell me to say, okay, you have to show this side of you, and then I have to go back to myself and my family and figure out a way of navigating around it. Yeah, so eventually I felt like it was something that I couldn't take up at the moment. It didn't align with my family values.
Okay.
If I may put it that way.
But was the money good?
The money was kachaponing around.
So I was no kanenda mai.
So I believe that so it's a good.
And I say this with respect, Shefi, because look, there's very few people who put their values first.
Exactly. It's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But I believe that I'll have countless opportunities to make money. So with all these opportunities, not all opportunities will be in line with what I want to do at that particular time. So I would have to say no to certain things. So sometimes it takes me long to make a very simple decision because I believe that is typical of any introvert. I like to take a lot of time to just make a decision. Now weighing such that if I decide to go through with one thing, then I'm doing it like with my it's like I don't like to do things where I am like half stepping to say, okay, do I really want to do this? One day I don't feel like, because production is a lot of work. You're on set almost like the whole day for weeks, if not months. So if I am not really sure about one thing, it will really show. Davat pasetu umuntu tasango.
Yeah.
Why? Because I wasn't sure of that thing to start with. Padiba, I've forgotten, but padiba law oyo balandati. I don't know how to put it in English, but they say padiba law ilandati the energy wamba nechintu. It's like energy. It's like you've set a precedent. Energy ka yafena chena
Ikakutwala, yeah, through to the end.
like relationship ungahamba on a bad term. It's likely to be like that
all the way to the end.
through.
No, I hear you.
So if I am not sure about one thing, I try to avoid it.
Yeah.
If I am very sure about doing something, now want to why are you extra motivated to do this?
To do this.
Kwa bama brand zake wati mpera fe dimbina less money, but because it aligns with who you are as a person and as a brand, you even go an extra mile such that like if in a sort mudi supunga ni brand vantu vamba kunza nishulo dadi ngisha mwenye ndara meshing yai pakati konsife kwa fala sort but it's because it's like it aligns with what we're trying to do at the moment.
I hear you. Now I wanted to ask, after you became a family man, did that change some things about your fans, about your music career?
So I'm not sure if it's changed anything about my fans. I think my fans have always looked at me the same, even after getting married and becoming a family man. But it's definitely changed a lot about me. I think there's a lot of things that I used to ignore in my private life that I now prioritize. I think I use my time wisely now. I'm now able to manage my time better now that I am a family man, because I know what to say. When I could be spending this time with my family somewhere. So even when we meet to just like hang out and talk, kafidefika having a conversation kade flow afe once today somebody shapo fimo or once we are just having fun, not that you're hanging out with your friends very kupera attitude. Then I quickly start to think, I don't pera attitude, I could be using this time for something else. So need pera fe that sense of managing my time better and prioritizing like family before anything else, before business.
Tell me, you being in the music space, I know there's a lot of politics in there, just like in any other space.
Exactly.
In the media space, there's
too much politics.
How do you navigate through that? How do you stay away from the politics and the trouble of the music industry?
I think I try to be part of the music, to be in the music industry, but not be part of the music industry. I don't know if that makes sense. So, like you said, more music industry, more politics. There's people that don't get along, but they get along because it's good for people to just think they get along. So there's a lot of compromise that happens. You know this is wrong, but you can't speak against it because you're part of the music industry. You're part of this whole thing that people look at as entertainment. So in the eyes of Ama fans, this is entertainment. Drama, it could be an entertainment. But if we, on the artist side, it's both entertainment and business. And Footy, we are not products, we are actual people. So for my sanity, I think sometimes I don't play along to the politics that happen, but I am within the music industry.
I hear you.
Yeah, so sometimes you might not see me at certain events because I choose not to like be part of the circus sometimes.
Sometimes.
And then sometimes it's good to just play along.
But tell me, other than your brother Mac, which artists would you say you really, really get along with?
There's a lot of artists. They won't say it.
You want to say, yeah?
Okay, yeah. Obviously, there's by getting along. Shishibelevo mureranda.
So what I mean is that, whatever comes upon naye nantu waikala tapale mtu mwapanda na kwa mano, like what you're saying.
So the Wengama artists, but I think I enjoy spending time with the younger artists.
Okay.
Because I think na nature and I love to do two things: listening and learning by observing people and teaching.
Yeah.
So the younger artists give me an opportunity to teach. So I spend a lot of time with younger artists that only came in the music industry after I came in the music industry. So I think we have conversations that are, I would call, teachable moments, where they are free to ask you questions, and then most of my peers and colleagues, yeah, we are friends, but there's also an element of maybe through my competitors.
Yeah. It's always
So
there.
it's like you might be having this conversation already guarded.
Yeah.
You can even feel it to say, okay, this guy hasn't opened up. I'm asking him and he's giving me one-word answers, meaning so maybe party competition up. So you would find that a relationship that have a genuine son.
Yeah.
And I'm big on genuine relationships. If I feel maybe we can't really get along, because it's normal to not get along with most of your colleagues. If I feel we won't be able to get along, I respect you and give you distance and give you your space. I won't be in your business. You won't hear anything bad that I said about you. I'll respect you more than the people I get along with, such that if we ever collide, I will know to say it must be your fault, and I have to exercise maximum force on you.
Okay.
So
So I know you're talking about I'm artist abaiche. As we close, I would want you to just speak to them and just encourage them, because I know there's a lot of artists out there, young and old, that would like to get to the level at which you are. But just before we get to that, I want to speak about something. Now I'm
golf. I think they say at every particular point in life you must be doing something new.
Yeah.
If there ever comes a time when you look around and there's nothing new in your life, Nenshi, that the end is near.
Yeah.
So I always try to pick up different things, pick up new things that I feel might be exciting. So yeah, golf is one of those. Golf to Aleland that but when I tried it out, it was fun. It didn't feel like an old people's sport.
Yeah.
It felt like I felt like I would feel when playing football.
So actually, I want to start playing golf as well.
Serious?
I've had a golf kit kunganda with 2 pairs of shoes. I think
Serious?
It's been 5 years. Nishataranya on top of a golf course. But this year I said I want to try it. So this is motivation also for me.
Exactly. So
to do something.
Ikata club. Nkontoire. That's Sambirako. So by the time they some to join us, to swinging a coffee knife.
Is there anything we should expect in terms of new music, new collaborations, local, international?
Yeah. Your question why tip chapo a number of times, but I'll always give the same answer, because it's like we are always trying to pursue the same goals. We've always wanted to get our music outside Zambia.
Yeah.
Even when it feels like we are not trying, trust me, in the background we are trying to take our music out there. So yeah, international collaborations are on the cards, local collaborations as well. I think finding a healthy balance is what not everyone does. Kulabati, you're listening to an up and coming artist all around that. When to some kuchinja Zambian music, and if for music yes we for te ya Zambia if for ya kunse.
Yeah, kunse.
But a healthy balance is important, because even when you get a gig outside, the promoters outside will call in to say, oh, there's this artist called so and so. I don't charge her so much. What do you think? I feel we know or we are risking too much.
Yeah.
Olwaba kunganda bananda ta uyo tachitika nokuchitiko enani uyo olwamba kumakanimi bale miskambinga.
Yeah.
So it's a healthy balance is important, where locally the buzz is there, even internationally the buzz is there. I think we've always strived to find that equilibrium.
What's your take on piracy?
Piracy. People have been talking about piracy even before I got into the music industry.
For the longest time.
So for now, with the coming of streaming services, I don't think there's so much piracy. Because you produce physical copies and then people start to make counterfeit copies of those physical copies. So my music has been pirated. But these days everything is with streaming services. So not so much. There's not so much of a problem of piracy at the moment. Because of streaming services. But again, there's a lot that we can do as Zambians and our music on streaming services. There's a lot that we can do as artists in general, because how they come up with ati ama streams, like umuntu nga streaming a song yobe ni this much. How they came up with that, no one knows. And where did you have that meeting where you now placed a value or a price on my song? Now want to that was for how many sleepless nights I had to endure for me to bring you this particular product. That it cannot be this.
It cannot be that much.
So I've always felt like a lot is owed to us in terms of how much money we realize from streaming services and streaming platforms.
Okay, so as we wind up, what is your word to that young artist that would like to be as successful as you are? For me, I don't measure success by money, but by somebody achieving what they set out to do. And you're probably successful in both. So what's your word out there? And then some people will say, no, it's only upcoming artists. But trust me, there could even be artists that are older than you, but still look up to you. So what word would you have for them to encourage them?
Actually, I was going to say it's not only the up-and-coming artists. So I'm glad you brought it out. Also got there, but a word for the up-and-coming artists. But no, even the older artists, I've been saying older artists, for example, invest like umuntu invest like 30,000 in the production of one particular song, and then spend like 2,000 to promote it, or a 5,000 to try and promote it. So, are you sure 5,000 yala shita protect investment 25,000? So we can. So now there's a problem even on the older side of artists. But if I'm to talk to up and coming artists now, and that my advice depends on what you are coming into the music industry to do. What is the end goal? Are you doing music because you are just passionate about it? Or are you doing music because of what comes with it? The fame, impia, awanakashi, attention. Is that the end goal for you? If that is your goal, then, for example, if the biggest motivation is kagero karakansumine nga song ya eating, nishikagero ngakakusumina nishikaria yapwa kaidi. But if it's something that you are just passionate about, if you follow your passion, the business only comes along once you follow through with your passion. If you are passionate about doing something, it won't feel like you're working. It will feel like you're having fun. I've never felt like I am working when we are writing. Yeah, there's times when the process is harder. But eventually it never feels like it's work because I allow my passion to just lead and I know what my objectives are. So as an up and coming artist nalandati, first of all kulandati, okay, inana music yandi ndefo kufika hapa so. And then when you start to get to that objective or goal, kula watu waipela kona ambia ma challenge. Okay, itu afika, sentufike kona pafuti again. Otherwise, I would say keep doing the basics, which is practicing through your lyrics. I'm big on lyrics. So practicing through your lyrics, get better, get technical. Because you got the technical nama lyrics na fiance. I think it adds another dimension towards your art. So Nalanda, keep practicing. We are in what I might call the microwave era of music where what we at instant gratification where pen abantu barefo afe fumena ma results. So now we are in a space where you have to practice patience na agency at the same time. Now kwata patience ya kupanga music but foot na agency because you know to say there's people waiting at the end. So even when we are in an era of instant gratification, Nalanda, take your time to create your music. Because once you create it, takawa boku istari tract. Takawa boku landat. Hey, lori mbona na funish. I think tarwa dilaka sana.
Written.
Takawa abanisha want na do ya filafin. And then your kids and your kids who listen to that music and they will say, oh, this is granddad or this is grandma that made this music. So think about the music you are producing and take your time to produce it.
Great. So what we do on the show is a guest picks a question for the next guest.
Serious.
So number ya tatu, you're going to choose one from the number 1, 2, and 3 for the next guest that's coming. But there's a question for you from the previous guest.
Serious.
So the question is, what is the best reward you've ever enjoyed with regards to your job?
So like I said, the best reward I've ever gotten out of music is just the fact that you create something out of nowhere and then people are the next day are singing along. I think when people sing along to our lyrics, there's nothing that beats that. That's the best reward I can ever get apart from Limbinem Pia. Nganinja kusho oluwa mbuinga. But na vandipira. Trust me, shaendale na ndepshamat. So what did I do wrong for? Or what am I doing wrong? But nganinja kusho Mpia, but people were singing along and the crowd was energetic and receptive to my music. I go back feeling like, wow, I need to do more. I need to continue.
Absolutely. That's amazing. So from 1 to 3, which number are you picking?
2.
3. Cool. So the question for our next guest is, how do you handle criticism or feedback? Right? So this will be answered by the next guest that we'll have. Okay. Shefi, thanks a lot for making time. It was a great interview. Like what I said, I am very excited and happy and actually impressed that, you know, you're able to sit down and open up and speak. Because when you say you're an introvert, it actually aligns with what I thought you were.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I was prepared for short answers. You know, but now Ulon Dololand, it's been a great show. I'm really grateful. I love your music. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't forget about the merch.
Exactly.
Okay. Someone from my team will pick it up maybe with one of your guys, and then we see how we move forward. But thanks a lot for making time to come and sit on the show.
All right. Thank you so much. You allowed me to open up and just speak on a lot of things. My thoughts were scattered, so the fiance I feel like I am not a good storyteller.
But you told a good story.
Hopefully we got something out, and thank you so much for having us.
No. That's great. So this has been the Kenny T one-on-one podcast. Remember, this podcast is brought to you by Yatu Tea. Yatu Tea is available in all leading supermarkets across the country. Make sure that when you want to keep warm, you want to drink some tea, you don't drink any other tea but Yatu Tea.